Hello and welcome to another lesson about Bluefort's license and subscription app, which is embedded in Microsoft Dynamics 365 for finance and supply chain, otherwise known as finance and operations apps. In this lesson, we're going to discuss how to handle changes to a contract. So we're going to just show how to do a downgrade, which also applies of course as well for an upgrade, and how to add new products or increase quantities of products in a contract which is rolling. I'm here in the finance and operations client in the web browser. I'm going to browse to subscription management, to the subscription management cockpit. I'm going to go to my customer here, create a new subscription plan, select my program type. I'm going to select 12 months as accrual because this is a yearly billing contract, and from the renewal options I'll specify my start date of my contract, and I will specify 3 cycles of 1 year. So there are 3 cycles of 1 year, and in total the contract has a length of 3 years. I close down this dialog, create a new plan line, select my gold license, which has $100 sales price per month. Total contract amount is $3,600, and we've inherited a 12-month sales accrual scheme from the header. Click OK, publish this subscription plan, manually run the master process for the sake of the demo, and click OK. And in this case I have the parameter for auto firming switched on. So in this case my action is automatically firmed, so that saves me from having to firm the action. So now I will post this action, and now my action is historical because it is posted, and I have just invoiced my first year of my contract there, my first billing cycle. If we refresh our audit, go to the voucher transactions, we can see that here is my invoice, which is going from debiting my debtor and crediting my deferred revenue, and then on a monthly basis we just take out that monthly allocation from the balance sheet to the P&L, and that's our revenue recognition. But now let's assume you've had a discussion with the customer and you'd like to do a contract change. So let's fast forward to the middle of the first year. Let's say it's the 1st of July in the first cycle 2021, and you have agreed with your customer that he will downgrade to another license. So this is effectively a contract change. So you will also publish your subscription plan, and you'd like to credit the remaining amount of the first cycle that you've just built and replace. The keyword here is that you're going to replace your item. So you're gonna unpublish, like I just said, tick your line and say credit note. Like we said, we're gonna assume it's the 1st of July 2021. The reason code is maybe some error, or any other scenario there you could choose. In this case, my billing cycles to credit, I will leave it to 0 because there is only one billing cycle. I could also set it to 1, doesn't matter. And I will choose to disable the line because, like we said, this is going to be a replacement. So we'll just hit OK here. And that is our credit note. It starts from the 1st of July till the end of December 2021, and it is for half the value. And now what I'll do is I will replace my gold license with, for example, a Teams license, which is half the price but still accrued over 12 months, and my reason code in this case must be a downgrade. So here we go. This is now our line. Apologies, I forgot to specify that this should start in line with the credit note from the 1st of July. So I just fixed that quickly. So now the value is 300 because this Teams license costs $50 per month, and we need it for 6 months, which is the remaining period for our billing cycle, first billing cycle. So that's it. We can just now publish our plan. Our test date is on the 1st of July because we're assuming that we're on the 1st of July. Test mode is on. Like I say in every lesson, please ensure not to put this on in your production environment. So now I will run the master process. Remember, I have the auto firming, and here I have 2 new firmed actions, which is one is the invoice of $300 for the remaining period of the first cycle, and I also have my refund for the last 6 months of 2021, which is also the remaining period of the first cycle for my gold license. I can go ahead and post. This will be combined into one order for my customer based on my parameter. And now these are historical. Now I will go back to my audit and refresh it. And there's my new voucher, my new audit. And as you can see here, I've given the net effect of my action was actually a credit note of 300. So there's a 300 credit on my debtor account, and that 300 has been split evenly over the remaining period, which is the 6 months. So again, this is a refund basically of $50 per month, and so the recognized revenue is reversed for $50 per month. So that is my posting. So it is worth noting here that even though we had a 12-month accrual, of course the system is smart enough to realize that it must accrue only for the remaining period of the first cycle. So that's how we are handling now the downgrade, because our original product, recall we had the gold license, disappeared. From here it will no longer be invoiced to this customer. From now on we'll just invoice the Teams license, but of course for historical reasons and for traceability purposes we can do the show all, and here we have exact tracking of what happened. So we had the gold license, we had the credit note which is signified by this back arrow, and then we onboarded the Teams license to replace that gold license. So I'll reverse my filtering. So now we're in 2022, and another contract change we could do, for example, is that we could add more Teams licenses. So I will unpublish this plan, create a new subscription plan line for my Teams license. Still the same price, maybe not, $50 per month. And I will do, for example, another 10. Alright. Apologies once again, I missed the date change. So that should be, of course, starting from the next cycle. Or whenever I want, but that's the assumption I'm taking for this example. So let's go ahead and publish this subscription plan. And let's move our date to 2022. Of course, this is a test date again. So we're fast forwarding to 2022. And again, I will now run my master process for 2022. This is a snapshot of my contract as at the second cycle. And the system actually here was smart enough to realize that these are two lines of the same item. So it combined the quantity into one action, which makes sense, of course, because this is now aligned and combined in terms of dates and item IDs. And now, as you can see, we are in our second cycle of our same contract. So it's the same contract, right? But we've made a contract change. We've moved from one item to another. We didn't disrupt the contract. We didn't need to create a new contract record at all. We could just keep the same contract running, but we've replaced our old license with our Teams license, and we've also later in the contract upsold more quantities of our Team license. So I'll go ahead and post this. That is now posted. So I have my invoice for the 2022 cycle, which is there. And now basically again I can view my records in my audit, and then we have the spread again for 2022 dates. For the dates in 2022, we have the revenue recognition being accrued over the various months. I hope you enjoyed this lesson where we spoke about contract changes in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance, specifically with our Lisa add-on from Blue4 team. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to get in touch with us. Thank you very much for your attention.